Hello everyone, and welcome to my Royal Family official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Charles and Camilla got engaged 35 years after they first met, despite difficulties during their courtship. While the couple eventually married, they faced several challenges in the run-up to their big day. In April 2005, King Charles II married Queen Camilla in a civil ceremony. Their wedding came after a decade of speculation about their romance, given that they had both had extramarital affairs in order to be together. The couple announced their plans to marry on February 10, 2005, but they had to overcome a few obstacles before their big day. Harry and William pleadingly asked their father not to remarry. In his memoir, Prince Harry said he wondered if Camilla would one day be his wicked stepmother, but that he and Prince William were willing to forgive her in their hearts if she could make their father happy. "We saw that, like us, he wasn't happy," the prince wrote. "We recognized his absent glances, empty sighs, and the frustration that was always visible on his face." He revealed that he and his brother promised their father that they would welcome Camilla into the family in exchange for him not marrying her. While they approved of her, Harry claimed that they begged Charles not to marry again after the tragic death of their mother, Diana, Princess of Wales. According to Harry, Charles did not respond because both brothers feared Camilla would be unfairly compared to the people's princess. According to Harry, despite their opposition to the marriage, a campaign was launched to allow the wedding to take place and Camilla to become queen. In 2004, a populist poll found that only 32% of respondents supported Charles and Camilla's marriage. It appeared that 29% were opposed, 38% were unconcerned, and 2% had no opinion. Although some Britons eventually warmed to the idea, their engagement sparked another round of angry outbursts. Penny Junor, royal biographer and author of The Duchess, Camilla Parker Bowles, and the love affair that rocked the crown, recalled receiving emails from BBC breakfast viewers expressing outrage at the news. On one occasion, a woman stood outside Clarence's house, Charles and Camilla's home, and declared that the then Prince of Wales would never be king if he married Camilla. The Church of England was not entirely supportive of second marriages at the time of their engagement, especially if a former spouse was still alive, as Camilla's ex-husband, Andrew Parker Bowles, was. To appease the situation, the couple decided to have a unique royal wedding, dividing it into two parts: a civil ceremony at Windsor Guildhall and a marital blessing service at St. George's Chapel. While there were mixed feelings about the proposal, Rowan Williams, Archbishop of Canterbury, approved it, saying he supported the marriage and that their arrangement was consistent with Church of England guidelines concerning remarriage. Neither Queen Elizabeth II, the Church of England's head, nor Prince Philip attended the ceremony. They did, however, appear at St. George's Chapel and the reception. According to Robert Hardman, a biographer of the late Queen, their absences indicated Her Majesty's disapproval of the arrangements, not of the marriage itself. Originally, Charles and Camilla planned to have their wedding on Friday, April 8. However, not long before the wedding date, the palace was forced to postpone it by 24 hours. On behalf of the Queen, Charles was summoned to attend Pope John Paul II's funeral. Harry claimed in his book that his father and Camilla did not want to marry on the same day the Pope was laid to rest. Poor karma, press less. More specifically, Granny requested that Pal represent her at the funeral. Manufacturers were forced to change the date stamped on commemorative products produced for the occasion as a result of the last-minute change. When the wedding day arrived, everything seemed to go off without a hitch. Camilla was said to be nervous on the big day, suffering from sinusitis, but her spirits were lifted once she felt the welcome of the crowd, which had gathered in Windsor to celebrate her marriage to the future king. She looked endearingly frightened when she stepped out of the car with Charles and waved briefly before disappearing into Guildhall, Ms. Junor wrote, but the crowd was clearly on her side. Camilla was now known as Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Cornwall. It was decided on that day that she would be princess consort once Charles ascended to the throne. However, Queen Elizabeth II announced last year that it was her sincere wish for her daughter-in-law to be named Queen Consort upon Charles' accession. Following the death of Britain's longest-serving monarch in September 2022, Charles was proclaimed king with Camilla as queen. Sarah Ferguson, 63, began a more private life after her divorce from Prince Andrew in 1996, but has become more public in the 2 years since Prince Philip's death. This could be due to her close relationship with Queen Camilla, according to an exclusive body language expert. Sarah Ferguson was unexpectedly welcomed back into the family fold, sitting front and center at the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II. This extraordinary turn of events, unthinkable if Prince Philip or even the late Queen were still alive, is said to have occurred after Fergie found a powerful advocate in Queen Camilla. The bond was reportedly strengthened over Christmas when the Duchess of York was reportedly welcomed to join the royal family for the traditional Sandringham celebrations. For years, her ex-husband, Prince Andrew, would bring their daughters, Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie, but not Sarah. However, in 2022, the Duchess attended not only Christmas lunch, but also the following day's shoot. Camilla likes Sarah, a source said. They're both gentlemanly men. They both enjoy horses, and Fergie will be wise enough to play Camilla's game and realize she is the power behind the king. She needs to be nice to them and support them, they said to the Daily Mail. Judah James, a professional body language expert, explained the similarities between the two royal women exclusively. Is Fergie's rumored fondness and admiration for Queen Camilla part of a long-term plan of sucking up by stealth to re-enter the royal fold, or do the two women truly have the kind of complementary personality traits that might help forge a genuine friendship? She wondered. Their body language signals would appear to put them at odds. Fergie has long been a fan of spontaneous, attention-seeking behavior, such as her wide-eyed, gurning facial expressions, a rather country-style walk, and a wide-mouthed, wrinkled-nose infectious laugh, which all seem to add up to make her appear an open book. Though she is prone to the kind of clumsier public moments that royals such as Diana and Kate have always managed to avoid. Camilla is prudence elevated to an art form. She hardly moves in public without looking at her husband and others around her. Whereas Fergie is a risk-taker who prefers to get things right, Camilla is a copycat who prefers to get things right. Despite the fact that the two women appear a world apart, Judy admits there are similarities between Fergie and Camilla. Fergie's fun-loving smiles are a far cry from Camilla's suppressed and often self-effacing smiles, with the corners of her mouth frequently turning down and a lot of muscle compressions keeping them from appearing uninhibited in any way. What the two women do have in common are signs of underlying fear and anxiety. Fergie's wariness and nerves developed after she left the firm and are now visible at royal events, such as her daughter's wedding, where Prince Philip's gaze bore into her back. Camilla's nervous signals arrived at the firm with her. She, like Fergie, was a persona non grata in the eyes of Philip and other members of the royal family, and she, like Fergie, had to work hard to get where she is today. The two wives of royal princes, and now a king in Camilla's case, have a lot in common, but there is another royal who could come between them. Both women appear to prefer the covered approach, though while Camilla is now awaiting her coronation, Fergie is still grateful for a Christmas invitation. Diana could be the biggest impediment to any genuine bonding. Fergie considers Diana to be her best friend, which should make Camilla her adversary. However, if Fergie does nail her flag to Diana's memory and act as her avenging angel, she will lose her most important and possibly only royal ally Harry. A quick about-face in order to survive and thrive in court would not be surprising, even from a woman who has always seemed to value loyalty highly. However, it is worth noting that the two royal women may have similarities in their personal lives that the public is unaware of. Perhaps Fergie and Camilla are more similar than they appear when they are not in the public eye, Judy speculated. Both lack the ability to compete with Diana and Kate's levels of perfection and elegance. Both know what it's like to be on the outside of the company with intense dislike from the top, and both appear to have a similar social presence among friends. Camilla appears to surround herself with more controversial and outspoken personalities and celebrities, and Fergie would certainly fit the bill, says the source. Both appear to have a rather earthy appeal, and both appear to prioritize loyalty to their royal brothers. Thanks for watching if you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any updates.